You got something for me to try.
I got something for you to try.
What do I gotta try? What the hell is that? What,
remember this? We bought this about a month ago. It's pickle juice.
Oh, what the? Whoa! You just squirted. Oh my God! Did you just get pickle juice all over my truck?
It's pickle juice.
I mean, I'm handling it a lot better than you. Don't you put that book back in there? Give me that damn book.
It's a vial.
That's good.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I was expecting you to go, ugh.
I just wasn't ready for it. That's good.
You want more of it?
No, you'll agree.
Have more of it.
It's good. Whew. See what I mean?
That's good.
It is.
Wow, that's surprising.
I told you it's good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like salty and pickly.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't appreciate it. I guess it froze.
I don't know. It probably blew up and it froze.
Anyway, all right.
Anyway, all right. Get off my hand!
Tomatoes.
You're ready.
Wolftick Nation, thank you guys for tuning into once again another Wolftick Videos episode. And guys, we are glad you are here because we are finally going to be putting a crankset on the Ledge X1. The Ledge X1, you guys got to see me shred it when the Bike Chick and all of her crew were down here, right? Oh, me and Lawson had it out.
I'm Lawson. I don't think you're, I don't mean this in a mean way. I don't think you can keep up.
All right, Lawson doesn't think I can keep up. We'll go from there.
Oh,
Ledge
that's
X1.
a couple of times ago.
It's been a minute now. Ledge X1, full suspension. That bike has changed from the back to the front pretty much, except for the seat post and the crankset. And I've been bugging this man over here, the Wolf Man. I've been bugging him saying, hey, I want to get a crankset put on that bike because that thing is nasty. We're fixing to break that thing down, get you guys some close-up shots, and change out the crankset, man, to a hollow bottom bracket.
And yeah, and another thing, we got a lot of people, one of our more popular videos in our library of stuff is the IXF crankset one.
It really is, and that wasn't one of our greatest ones.
No, it's horrible.
Because it was like when we first started, you know?
But the thing is, it's always popular, so it's like, well, you know what? Why don't we do one on the jgbike?
jgbike crankset, 170mm crank arms. This here was sent to us by our boy
Chuck U.
Chuck U, baby. So Chuck U, thank you for supplying us with this. This is supposed to go on the Patron bill, but we got that all handled. So jgbike crankset is going on the Ledge X1.
Why we couldn't have went on the new Patron bill?
Well, because we got one for that.
Okay.
Okay. Now, also, on today's episode, we're going to be throwing in a basher guard. We're going to see if that basher ring, that berserker, sent us. We're going to see if that thing fits on this bike.
I thought we were going to wait on that.
No, we're putting it on there.
Oh.
And he wrote me a letter and everything. So, berserker, we're going to be doing that as well. So, guys, please, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And let's get into tearing down the crankset on this Ledge X1.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we're going to start by taking the pedals off, and I really want you guys to hear what this thing sounds like, because I don't know if you guys remember, was it the Ardor that we took apart and it was terrible?
Yeah, one of the Ardors was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to hear what it sounds like, don't take a pedal off first, you need a pedal to turn it.
I'll pedal it out, I'm going to take the chain off too. I'll be able to do it. But I want to take these pedals off, and these are the Fooker pedals. Now, for $26, I think they might be a little bit more thin. Some people on the channel have been saying they're a little bit more thin than the what is that? The Race Face Chesters. Okay, but the Race Face Chesters are like $56 right now, and the Fookers are like $26. So for 30,
there's some people that were saying shouldn't use them because they're a knockoff or whatever too. But
well, whatever. I mean, you know. Hell, whenever you got to really worry about your budget on stuff and your budget channel.
Does that mean people shouldn't drive Chevy and Dodge because they're knockoffs of Ford, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Okay, now, shh, I want you to hear this, all right? Oh my, look at this, Dad, look. Dude.
I told you the other day that
look at that, guys.
He kept sitting there bad. I'm like, they're not that bad. And I turn those and I turn this. Oh, God, that's bad.
My gosh, how much resistance I've been having. Dude, that's crazy. It's like a ratchet. Anyway, so it does not sound the greatest, right? But maybe if we could actually give you a way to feel it, you could feel it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let's go ahead and take these crank arms off. A little 15mm socket action. We're going to take these off and see what this bottom bracket looks like because, boy howdy, this is bad. And guys, if you would like to, we're going to do some affiliate links in the description below so you guys can check those out if you're going to be tackling a job. And most of the time, we'll try to put all of the tools in the description, okay? Affiliate links, stuff like that helps us out a little bit. And now comes the trusty crank arm remover, crank arm puller. This thing has got me out of some pickles. It's a lot better than putting a 2x4 in between your bottom bracket and smashing the ends of this thing with a hammer. Let me know in the comments if you've done that, because I've done it. I've had this crank arm puller for I don't know how long. I've had it for a very long time, and it's still holding in there. The best thing, in my opinion, is getting a mullet.
A mullet? You mean a mallet?
Ow!
What the hell are you doing over there?
We got the crank arm off there, and what I was saying was a mallet. You know, I'm all mulleted out right now. You
said mullet. I cranked you a mallet.
All right, so that one come off pretty smooth. Now, if you notice, the little, I believe there's 20 teeth on this thing right here.
Son of a gun.
I'll get zoomed in there. I believe there's 20 teeth on that, and that is a 20-tooth, I think, spline or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a professional. But we've got a special tool for that, too. You guys can find the affiliate links, okay? So what I want to do is I want to weigh these and see if there's a big weight difference, but it's always a good thing to change out this bottom bracket because this is kind of an old style, and in my opinion, I think it probably is going to weigh a little bit more than the hollow bottom bracket. But we're going to be adding that basher guard today, and we're going to be talking about that here after getting done removing this. So it might be one of those things that maybe equals out. I'm not too sure. But these here are 170mm crank arms, and they're aluminum. They're not that heavy. Okay, now let's get a zoom up here for this bottom bracket, and I'm going to show you guys how we can remove it. So this is what we're going to be using today. Now, I have not invested in a impact yet, but the cool thing about this, it's very budget. It's like, I don't know, like $9-10 maybe. You can get these in a lot of combo kits. We'll put some affiliate links in the description below. But we've got a 1/2 inch end there, so if you want to use an impact or a big old ratchet like this, you can. And if you don't have a ratchet or an impact, you can use a crescent wrench. And who doesn't have a crescent wrench? So we're just going to lay it like that. We're going to go ahead and unscrew it. Now, if you guys get confused with this, like I do, the front of the bike is that way, okay? So we want to basically torque it to where we're spinning it towards the front of the bike. And that goes for the same on both sides over here. We'll be spinning it towards the front of the bike. All right, see if we can get this. This is a hard leverage point. All right, that one's not too bad at all. So it did break pretty good. A lot of times you have to put these things on the floor or get a buddy to help you with the bike flipped upside down. Okay, so this one here is really wanting to twist off with just the fingers. There we go. Alright, now let's see if this thing's got any bearings left or what kind of shape it's in. Alright, so you can already see there, don't want to remove that, we're decently rusted up. It's actually not that bad. It's just extremely dry, if you can see that. I mean, that is extremely dry, but really not as bad as I thought it was going to be as far as rust concerned. Now, if we look here at the bearings, those are extremely dry and they are all rusted out. Look at that. I mean, see, that's a problem there. And I mean, for, you know, $50-60 plus some tools, you can do a decent upgrade here and just do some general maintenance to your bike that needs to be done to everybody's bike. You know, this is the main part of your bike. Let's get this other side undone. We'll pull this bearing out here. Okay, this one's a little bit more lubed up. The drive side, thank goodness, is a little more lubed up, but still we've got a whole bunch of rust and a whole bunch of nastiness there. Alright, let's get this other side taken off. Alright, same exact thing on the drive side. Again, we're going to go towards the front of the bike. Hold the front of the bike real quick, please. Alright, so we just got done cleaning the bottom bracket. Pretty nasty. And remember, we're going to be weighing these two. I want to weigh both of these and see which one weighs less. But this is what we got going on today, okay? Now, we've never done a basher guard before, but I will say the chain ring and chain have hit a few times on the ledge, especially going towards Ragnarok, okay? Now, the basher guard here, I think we'll install on the 30-tooth, on the inside or the outside, I'm not sure just yet, but the holes do match up. So this is the 30-tooth round crankset, or chain ring that we're going to be changing out today, and again, it's the same exact as what we're taking off as far as the tooth count goes, but it's definitely a lot lighter. It's aluminum. And I think this just snaps in here like so, which it does. That snaps right in there. We've still got a little bit of gap. Got a little bit of gap there for the chain to slide into.
Gap or gap? Gap.
Gap. Oh. Calm down with the gap. Now, these little nipples here, that's something that actually throws a lot of people off. And the reason why it does is because those are intended, since this chainring is so small, those are intended so you've got full contact with the narrow wide on the chain, and you've got enough space between your spider and your the mounts for the chainring, basically. A lot of times you'll see like a 32 tooth. Now you can notice this one here is completely flat. The reason this one's flat is because the spider, where it would mount, the chain rings, or the narrow wide cogs here, actually stick out further than the spider. Can you see that? It's barely, but they stick out further. So there's no need to add any spacing. Now the issue, what I found out a while back, was the reason these have the nipples on there, again, is so it can throw itself further away from the spider, since it's not wider than the spider. You see the cogs there versus the spider? And what we'll do is that chain has to go somewhere, so it actually makes up with the spacers in there for that chain to make full contact on the narrow wide and not bite into the spider. Alright, so here is the jgbike Crankarm, 170 millimeters long. It is aluminum, and we've got a steel shaft, or a spindle, as the Captain's Cog likes to say. This is pretty much identical to the IXF stuff that you guys have all seen before. We've got the threads on the inside there to set the compression on the opposite side. And something I do like about this jgbike crank, the spider here, you can see that these aren't ground down, they're actually blacked out. You see that? Most of the time they're ground down on the outside. You see this here where all the chrome is exposed, or the aluminum is exposed, and it just doesn't really look like all that great of a finished job. But this one here, we've got the black on the outsides, so I do like that.
You like that better?
Yeah, I like it a little bit better. You can get the covers, but you can't get the covers to fit on the 32. So we found that out as well. Now here is the other crank arm here, the non-drive side crank arm. We've got, this goes on the other side of the spindle, and we have a little set nut here.
Can you please call it shaft just for consistency?
Shaft, yes. We've got this little cap here, and basically that cap, this did not come with a tool, but that cap goes on the outside of the crank arm here, and that's what helps set that compression. We've got the bottom bracket, and this is the hollow bottom bracket. We use the crap out of these, and this is not really differing from the IXF stuff too much. Some IXF stuff comes in, the only differences I've seen is the spacers that it comes with. These ones here are plastic, and kind of depending on where you order it from, most IXF ones are plastic as well, but we have lucked out and gotten some aluminum ones. I just kind of like the aluminum ones because they don't give whenever you tighten. This here is a 68 to 73 millimeter long, and that's another thing. I've never had an issue with any of our bikes as far as the bottom brackets are concerned, being too short or too long. This one here does have a little bit of room for play, and it does have an O-ring on the outside, but most of the time you're just going to use up all that play with your spacer. So there is a little bit of give and take, but I mean it does expand pretty good and does smash in pretty good. The shell there will definitely fit for most of your bikes in our experience. And the last one we got is a little bit of mounting bolts there to mount your chainring on. And again, since this is a 30 tooth that we're going to be installing, and it's got the spacers on here, those little spacers actually are threaded themselves, so we won't need the back end of this bolt and nut action. We'll just need the bolt portion because that is threaded. But if you do want to go with a 32 tooth or something a little bit bigger, maybe a little more of a range, 34 tooth, these are not threaded, so you are going to need your mounting hardware, okay? Alright, so now that we have gone over the jgbike stuff, let's go ahead and do the weigh off. Let's see which one weighs more.
Rolling. Alright,
we got the stock crankset, the 15mm bolts, the bearings, the cups, everything on this, okay? Let's see what we got. Stock. 2.24 pounds.
UKers there.
UKers. 1.01 kilograms.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. This is all the aftermarket. Okay. And then some.
Oh, it is a savings.
Oh, cool. So about 1/4 pound.
Yeah, right. About almost exactly 1/4 pound. Go to the UKers what they want.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is 0.90 kilograms. All right.
Alrighty. Well, how about that?
Okay, so those are snug. I think that looks sweet, man. And you can see these here. It almost looks like a saw blade. So we've got it going in this direction on the drive side. So I think that's going to be looking pretty good there. And we've got enough space there for not only the chain, but we've also got enough space in there for the chain ring, or for the basher guard. So I'm hoping this is going to work with the alignment. All right, guys, now is the time to put in the bottom bracket. Now there's a whole bunch of Everybody does this a different way on the internet, okay? Everybody says add 1 spacer, add 2 spacers, add 3 spacers on this side and that side. And this right here is such a frequently asked questions. What about these spacers? Guys, every bike is different. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to add 1 spacer on the drive side and see how the alignment is. We're going to talk about the alignment as well, because it's really important. If you don't have the proper alignment and you go to shift, depending on what gear you can be in, your chain can just fall off. And we've definitely had that a bunch on this channel, okay? Another thing that really matters is your chainstay. Sometimes you get a little bit of grindage with your chainstay, and we've had plenty of that too. So I'm going to add 1 spacer on the drive side, and you can see here, on the cups, this was got an L on it for the left side, the non-drive side. We have an L here on the shell itself, and then we've got an R, and we have an R over here for the drive side, the right side. And that's looking straight down. So we're going to add 1 spacer, and hopefully the alignment's good. We'll check out the alignment here in a second. But basically, put the spacer on the little cup there, and then we're going to put some grease on this guy. Now look, Wolftick Nation, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, you guys have done this on a whole bunch of bikes, but we were thinking, you know, it's been a minute since the IXF video that we've really separated this process here, and wanting to just help out people that might not know how to do this portion themselves. And, you know, like I said, this is a frequently asked question as far as bottom brackets and things like that are concerned, or putting a 1-by on your bike. So hopefully we can help some of those guys without having to direct them to a certain video and a certain time mark and all that good stuff. So hopefully this will just get it out there and basically have something in our portfolio. So Wolftick Nation, if you're new to the channel, become part of the Wolftick Nation, hit that subscribe button. But all of Wolftick Nation, please hit that like button, show your boys some support on doing something just a little bit different. Alright, now we talked about tools, and this is another tool that I have had on the wall over there. So one of the first tools I got, I remember telling Wolfman when I was getting this thing, when we got the IXF crankset on the GT Aggressor Pro, one of the first ones that we ever installed, I was like, hey, I need this tool. And he's like, you have to have that? And I said, I mean, I could do it with a monkey wrench, but I think this is what I need. And it was kind of on a whim, you know, because you see pictures of things like this and that, and you start getting intimidated on the internet. You're like, I don't know what I need. So to help you guys out with the intimidation process, we will put these in the description below, some affiliate links, okay? Like I said earlier. On the non-drive side, I'm going to add probably 1 spacer, okay? And again, we're going to, I like to turn it towards the front of the bike so I know that I'm catching those threads. Once I hear it click, then I start to screw it back like you would in most things. We definitely do not want to cross-thread the bottom brackets. Do not do that. Now the moment of truth. What do you guys think about that angle, huh? Oh, big brother Kevin H with the Park Tools bike stand, man. I love this thing. I can get angles like that for you guys. Not enough to be up underneath the bike. So we're going to add some grease to this guy here. Okay. MTB Alex, calm down. Now we're going to insert it. Now, so I want you guys to keep your eyes on. Will the basher guard, we have not done this, will the basher guard clear this portion of the chainstay? If it makes contact, we're screwed. We're going to have to add another spacer, and that might be messing with the alignment. Okay?
Hopefully the alignment's good regardless.
Yeah, hopefully the alignment's good regardless. But we're going to stick this in there. Oh, damn, innards come out. You see that? Right there. Same thing happened to me with the first IXF crank video. Alright, we're getting close.
Am I going to be happy with that alignment?
I hope I'm happy with it. Ooh, we are so close right there. The chainstay.
Okay, but that rear deal moves.
Ooh, look at that.
Is it going to hit when it moves?
No, it should be fine. The widest part of it's up here. Barely. I mean, it is so close. But it should clear.
Well, because then it compresses upward.
Oh, I didn't think about that. It's probably going to hit it. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Wolfman brought up a good point. He's like, hey, you can take that chainring off without having to... the basher guard off. You can take that off without having to disassemble the whole bottom bracket and the cranks and all that. He's exactly right. So we're just going to keep on going on with this.
Okay. Am I going to like the alignment?
I'm not sure yet. We'll have to look at the alignment. Okay, so that's good and tight there. Now we're going to add the cap here. We're going to add a little bit of compression on this. Kind of like setting the stem cap bolt. Torque wrench engaged. We're going to route the chain around this, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope that the alignment's good. I'll show you guys the alignment here in a second.
I don't know if you're going to be able to handle that.
And honestly, guys, I think we're going to have to take this basher guard off because the setup is going to be a little bit funky. Again, I think it's going to collide with this. But I don't know if I can handle that. I might.
You know what? It might be designed for a, probably like in a 12-speed or something like that, where it's a thinner chain.
Yeah.
So that's a thicker chain. That's an 8-speed chain.
I think that's too bad is like if the chain were scooted over just a little bit.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying.
Do you think that holds any water?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does. Might be better for a 12-speed like Wolfman Sam. Or a different setup with not the 30 tooth, you know, like a flat one. Well, the flat one may be on the opposite side. Anyway, it's grinding a little bit. I don't know if I could do that. I think it looks cooler than crap. Yeah, let's see what the alignment looks like.
I'm going to look at the alignment. You know I am.
It's pretty damn straight. So, friends, you have an 8-speed. You want to be about the fourth cog, and pretty much be in line with that. If you've got a 7-speed, you want to be about on the 3rd, 9th. You want to be on the 5th, right in the middle. You know, and it should be pretty damn aligned.
I have to say, it don't look bad.
No, it looks good. I mean, look at that.
There's the only thing that it's rubbing on that basher guard pretty hard.
No. I was like, oh, why has it got a rub
That's
on
really
that?
not bad. It might not be perfect, but it's not horrible. So I'd say it's acceptable. It gets the Wolfman seal of approval on alignment.
Okay. So the alignment is good. Alright guys, got the jgbike crankset all changed out, crank arms in the all, 170mm crank arms, 30 tooth chain ring already, all aluminum, and it's right around, what, quarter of a pound lighter than the stock?
Without cheese.
Without cheese, okay. We've now done away with the ball bearings that were all rusted out and nasty. We've got the sealed bottom bracket in here now, hollow, a little bit lighter, definitely a lot smoother, and the alignment's just as good. Now, too bad we couldn't use that basher guard, right? That kind of sucks. I was really looking forward to that, especially with the full suspension. We'll be using that pretty soon. Chuck, thank you for the crankset, and all of you guys out there watching this, either to try to learn something or just supporting your boys, Wolfman and the Tick. Thank you guys. Please like, please subscribe, and yeah,
please don't use this for learning.
Nah, it's not. We're not professionals, okay? It's the way we do things. But all right, guys, we will see you on the next one. I'm so happy we finally got that done with the ledge.